guys, Barth here, Intense Tattooing. Another question to be answered from several people. It's regarding our skin tone selector, what that really means, or how you should operate with that, with pigments. I think it's very essential for every tattoo artist to know what the difference is on different skin types, right? It's we have a job, we work on every kind of person, every age, any heritage, any way to live. You know, it's all different people. So it's a wide array of people what we're working on. And of course, what it is, it's like they have a wide array of skin. So there's tons of differences. And what we did is over the years we collected, well, over the past 2-3 years, we collected a certain amount of information to understand how the color behaves in human skin and how it changes through combination with the skin tone. And I think the first part what we really have to understand for this subject is a very simple method. It's this: the pigment sits underneath the skin. Okay, most people believe when you do a tattoo that the color sits on top of it. It's not the truth. It's underneath the skin. If this is the skin layer, it goes in and then basically it lays underneath, right? So the certain issue what now appears is that if this skin is a different color, then the color what you put underneath is going to have a difference, right? Like, the easiest way to explain is if you have, let's say, a cold toned skin, right? Like or cool skin, if you're Irish or in that kind of, you have a bluish skin, and you put an orange in, the blue will change the hue of the orange, and it's going to make it maybe from a bright orange to a brownish orange, because now the blue translucence of the skin is going to add to the actual shade of the color. So you need to compensate this, and this is what we try to show you with all the different tattoos and the different batches on it, how those colors would behave if you put them into the skin from different people. So if you take a yellow and you put it into a cold bluish skin, your yellow will cool out and it will get a cool bluish tint because of the translucent layer from the skin on top of it. So you need to compensate for that translucency of the skin or for that shade of the skin. It's very important as a tattoo artist. You know, there's so many artists which go into make these great colors. They completely disregard how the color's going to look and work with the skin, and then basically the pieces come back muddy, right? We see this sometimes with the blues. They're very, the blues are subject to that, which are very endangered, let's call it this way, or they're very dangerous colors for warm skin. If the skin is orange, warm, then you put the blue in, and if the blue is too cool, it turns this blue into a muddy grayish blue. There is no way out of it. It's sometimes people have ashy skin, right? Like if they have an ash tone to it, it's gonna muddy up your color. So you need to compensate with contrast. And if you don't know how your color will behave when it heals, then you can't work with that contrast. So you need to compensate for that. The issue is when you work on the person and the tattoo is fresh and you actually punctured the skin. So there's not as much coverage of skin over your pigment at the time by the application, but when it heals and everything heals over properly, then you basically have a solid translucent layer of that skin, and it's going to change your tone. So keep that in mind when you work on that. That's a great way to test this. There's some translucent, when you go into an art supply store and you see folders, and then you can sheet protectors, you can take them in different colors. You get them yellow, red, orange, all different colors. They are see-through. Put some color on the paper and then put that sheet protector over it, and you will see the change of the pigment. So it's very, very simple system. It makes your brain understand right away what the big challenges are here. So keep in mind when you look at the skin selector that that's what it's made for. It gives you a guideline to understand which color to pick for which style of skin and which colors perform better than others. If the color is very translucent in its behavior, let's say a sumi wash it will not perform great on very dark skin. It will perform great on very light, cool skin, because you will see the light nuance of shade in the skin and in the color. But if the color is more like a Mediterranean person who was in Corsica all its life, and he has burnt skin, and he lives on the sun all day, assuming gray wash is not going to work great. It's going to look good when you work it in, but when it heals, it's going to disappear. So check this out. If you have some questions on that, let us know. I hope it gives you a little bit more insight. I know it maybe raises some more questions. With more answers come more questions, but it also makes the industry better. So send your questions over and they're going to answer them. Keep on buzzing.